really about, thank you, Dr. Maya. The talk today is really about living. We're alive, living this life, right? To the best of our ability, learning, being happy, being sad, suffering. I mean, there's so many different flavors of life and different experiences and all the moments put together. And today's focus is what Unity calls the power of zeal. So in Unity, there are 5 principles, there's 12 powers. These are very practical things. These are not laws. And the 12 powers were developed by Charles Fillmore, who's one of the co-founders of Unity. And he kind of came up with, identified 12 abilities or capacities that every one of us is born with. And one of those is like a word. How often do you hear or use the word zeal, right?
Twice a year.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll start using it. Maybe we'll bring back the word, right? We'll bring back the word zeal. You know, the word zeal has its origins in the Greek zelio or zelos, which means ardor or enthusiasm. And that's kind of how I think of that word, kind of like maybe just a very, not a little enthusiasm, but like, wow, real powerful enthusiasm. And it can be traced back to the ancient Greek philosopher Pythagoras, who used the term to describe, and I like these words too, a fervent, passionate state of being. We're alive, a fervent, passionate state of being. Over time, the word has been adopted into various languages, and it's come to represent an intense enthusiasm. Intense enthusiasm. You probably know people who are maybe overzealous.
Well,
right?
It has such a negative connotation with the word zealot, right?
Yeah, zealot and overzealous. Yeah, that would be like the one extreme. We're using it in the context of our own lives to use zeal as our power of sparking life, sparking our passion, sparking our movement forward. That's how we're using it. And zeal is, and this is from Myrtle Fillmore. So Charles and Myrtle are the married couple that started Unity, the co-founders. Zeal is a divine fire that burns within us, urging us to embrace our passions and live our purpose. Zeal is a divine fire. I like that image, divine fire that burns within us, urging us to embrace our passions and live our purpose. So that's the power of zeal. And let me say a few more words about this. You know, tomorrow's also the new moon. All right. So we're going to use our power of zeal and the influence of the new moon to actually have an experience today through meditation and using some clay that I have up there that I'll talk about. We're going to do a little bit of work to bring our passions, our purpose, and fire it up with zeal. We're not using flames though, but we will have an experience so that you walk out of here today with a little more spark, a little more fire, and something that you want to bring into your life. All right. So Eric Butterworth, who's a very famous orator and unity minister, a quote that he said about zeal was, "As we awaken the fire of zeal within us, we tap into the limitless possibilities of the divine." So with zeal, we tap into the unlimited possibilities of the divine. Good morning, Letitia, welcome. So zeal is, again, this fiery energy that resides in the depths of our souls, eagerly awaiting our recognition and our activation. It's just waiting there. It's waiting there. And zeal is like the spark, like when Catherine was lighting the candles. I like to think of it as something a little more divine than a bit lighter, but you get the idea, right?
Easier to light.
Yeah, easier to light. It is easier to light than that. So so zeal is a driving force that empowers us to embark on our spiritual journey, infusing our thoughts, infusing our words, infusing our actions with passion and enthusiasm. By embracing our own fire within, we align with the divine energy of creation, and we become catalysts for positive change in our lives and in the world around us. So yeah, amen. Let's use zeal more often. So Charles Fillmore, and a quote from him, he says, each of us has unique gifts waiting to be awakened and expressed in the world. They're just waiting there for us to be aware and apply the spark, apply our own fire. As we awaken the power of zeal, we tap into the wellspring of our uniqueness. And this is a key word, we'll be using this later. It's through this passionate alignment that we discover our purpose and step into our soul's calling. So it's a process of alignment and using that spark of zeal. Zeal propels us forward, breaking through obstacles and limitations, enabling us to embrace our authentic selves and share our gifts with the world. So it sounds to me like the word unstoppable maybe should be coupled up with zeal, right? Unstoppable. And another way of looking at zeal comes from Paul Hasselbeck, who at Unity Worldwide Headquarters in Missouri used to be in charge of the education programs there. And now he's a traveling minister. He gives lots of classes in Unity Metaphysics. There's a great book about love and metaphysics. He says, zeal gives us the energy and persistence to manifest our dreams and desires. So it really is a power. And when harnessed consciously, zeal becomes a dynamic force for manifestation. It empowers us to set clear intentions and align our energy with our desired outcomes. With unwavering focus and enthusiasm, we co-create our dreams with the divine and we turn them into tangible reality right here on this plane in this space and time. Zeal helps us overcome those challenges, persist in the face of adversity, and believe in the limitless possibilities that await each of us. Myrtle Fillmore, again, is another quote. Kind of the last view on zeal here is, our daily practices nurture the flame of zeal within us, keeping it burning brightly. Now, what does she mean by daily practices? In Unity, that's affirmations, like we heard when Gloria read the daily word, and we repeated that affirmation 3 times. That's how we use our thoughts to kind of program our thinking and our feeling and our behavior. We use meditation. That's a really important key one. We could use visualizations. We can use a gratitude practice. There's so many ways that you could use our daily practices to cultivate and nurture this power, this flame within us that we can call zeal. So by connecting with our passions and embracing joy and staying committed to our dreams, even if we're having a bad time or in the depths of our lives or dealing with things that just don't feel good. Yeah, even if it's miserable and we're suffering and it might go on forever and ever, that awareness is still, that power is still within us. And that awareness of our purpose and our passions is still within us, even though we might not be able to access it, even though it might not be in our daily awareness. We just keep working at it and we trust that it's there. So let your zeal ignite the world, for you are a beacon of divine passion and purpose. And that's a quote from Eric Butterworth. So that is zeal. Let's think of some examples of zeal in action. Like a couple of metaphors that come to mind would be like, how many of you seen an old-fashioned steam engine? Those big things with the like steam, not the nice electric things that, you know, smoothly stop and go, but a big steam engine. It takes a long time to build up that steam. And then when it starts going, it's just kind of, I went on one a couple times, like a narrow gauge steam engine in Colorado, you know, taking us to a silver mine or something, you know, a historic train ride. And you hear, boom, you hear like this big, deep sound, and you see smoke coming out, and the whole thing just blows this gray smoke. Of course, in the open air cars, you know, you're just being covered with smoke, but you hear this deep puff, huff, and puff sound, and you're not even moving, like something's happening, but it's just this force that's starting to move, and you see the wheels just start to turn, and then you hear like another big puff, and then it turns again, and then another big puff, and it turns again, and then finally, like the wheel will get halfway around, and then it'll get another way around, and then it starts to chug, 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 and then it goes faster and faster, like the little engine that could, right? I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. That's an example. And then if Dr. Maya would turn off the recording because this is a YouTube video and we can't have it embedded in our recording. I want to show you, you saw birds. If you guys came early, there was some music with some birds. I want to show you a. Great, thank you for turning the recording back on. We're now going to do a meditation because I'd like to help you get in touch with your inner flame, your inner enthusiasm, your inner fire. Whether you think of yourself as a swan or a mom giving birth or an engine or an airplane, or just your experience of starting something that helps you with your life purpose. So I'd invite you to sit back, put down anything that happens to be in your hands, and just rest your hands gently on your lap or on your thighs. And just let the chair support you. Feel your back against it. If you like, you could sit up straight, if it's up to you, but just let the seat hold your weight and consciously unzip your personality self for a few minutes and just put it aside. You can pick it up later. Just unzip it like a pair of old clothes and put it on the floor or in the chair next to you. And take a big, deep breath and close your eyes. Maybe take a second deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. This signals our body to relax. Release any tension or distractions from your awareness. Now bring your attention to the center of your being, to the sacred place within your heart. Visualize a radiant flame glowing within. This flame represents your power of zeal, your enthusiasm. This beautiful flame symbolizes your passion, your purpose, and your divine potential. As you focus on this inner flame, feel the warmth and energy it emits. It's not hot like it's going to burn you, but it is powerful, the power of zeal. Sense the power, sense the enthusiasm that lies within you. Maybe it's active and bubbly. Maybe it's already a strong flame, or maybe it's lying dormant a little bit and you're just jiggling it gently to wake it up. It's waiting to be awakened and expressed. Allow this energy to expand and sense it filling your entire being. Let it flow out into every cell and every fiber, from the top of your head, out your fingers, and out the bottom of your feet. Your entire being is ignited now with the essence of zeal. Take a moment to connect with your deepest desires, your dreams, and your soul's purpose. Pause for some breaths as you ask yourself or look around or sense a knowingness of your deepest desires. Now build up the excitement and your enthusiasm. Feel it welling up within you as you envision the life you long to create and the impact you wish to make in our world. And with that awareness, now imagine a golden light pouring down from above, descending gently upon you like a waterfall, a gentle waterfall of divine energy. This light represents the support and guidance of the universe, infusing your inner flame even greater intensity. As this golden light merges with your power of zeal, feel energy intensify. Feel it, sit, know it. It's the expansion of your consciousness as you align with the divine flow of inspiration and creative expression. In this heightened awareness and connection, envision yourself fearlessly stepping into your full potential. See yourself pursuing your passions with unwavering determination, fueled by your inner power of zeal that flows through you. Allow any doubts, fears, or limitations to be washed away by that golden light, leaving you with a renewed sense of confidence and empowerment. Trust that the universe supports your journey and that your zeal will guide you to the highest and best expression of yourself. Take a few moments now to sit with this inner fire, feeling its warmth and power enveloping you. And know that you can tap into this power of zeal whenever you need a boost of motivation or inspiration or guidance. Inhale this sensation and let it permeate your entire being. And to remember this feeling, to help crystallize it in your memory, take a deep breath, let it out. And on your next inhale, breathe in and hold it to the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. And I'll clap your hands and open your eyes. Move a little bit. Shrug your shoulders. Tap your feet. Shake your hands out. Bravo. So this idea that you can, once you build up this way of being, these feelings and this sensations, if you're like, oh, this feels good, I want to remember this, I want to be able to conjure it up in my memory fully. This is one way that I've been taught to crystallize the memory so you can recall it more fully. And that's you. Inhale, hold it to the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, and you just make one clap. And then bring yourself out. And there's something about the sensation of clapping and the sound and the breath, that combination, that helps you remember something better, a moment, an experience. So try it. Try it at home. See if it helps. You know, it's like, oh, I want to remember this moment here right now. Just breathe in and one clap. What I'd like to do now is a little ceremony with you. Let's pass it around since there's so many. Pass it around. So this is polymer clay. It's from the dollar store. It's not toxic or I don't need it, but it's not going to kill you or anything. There's 2 colors. Pick one. They're all in foil, so you could wrap it up and take this home. You know, just put it in your pocket. And what we're going to do now is the whole piece. You get the whole thing. I'm going to show you another technique.
So,
What?
am I doing?
Oh, I should. I have more in the kitchen if we need more. If we run out, I have 4 more pieces, Kate, in the kitchen. Okay. What we're gonna do now is take what you got and what you remembered. And I'm gonna teach you a shamanic technique of embodying those ideas, that feeling, those sensation, that spark, whatever came to you. And we're gonna put it in this clay. And we're gonna call on the influence of the new moon, which I'll talk about, to help us in this ceremony. But what we're actually creating is something for your windowsill or your meditation altar or your mesa if you have one. And this is a embodying emotions and thoughts in physical form. There's so many ways to do that, and this is just one way. All right. What you're going to do is shape this clay into the clay so that it can be a physical reminder of your power of zeal. Great. Yeah, I'm glad we have just enough. This is great. Cool. All right, so the new moon is tomorrow. So this is there is no moon tomorrow. It's in hibernation. It's totally dark tomorrow. I'm not into astrology, so you'll have to ask somebody like Victoria later if you want to know the astrological influences that are related to the new moon. But yeah, it is. Yes, it is an especially powerful one for manifesting, planting seeds and manifesting. The new moon power, the full moon amplifies things and the new moon incubates things. So this is the ideal time. And use these influences to, you can plant a seed for yourself at any time you want to, but doing it, especially if you make a practice of it at every new moon, it really becomes a pattern, a spiritual practice. So here's some of the meanings of the new moon. There's new beginnings. The moon is associated with fresh starts and new beginnings, the planting of seeds for future growth. It's a great time to set intentions, start new projects, and initiate positive change. So as your steam engine starts up, or as you're starting to take off, use all the power of the environment to help you do that. Another meaning of the new moon is renewal and rebirth. So this was a period of renewal and rebirth, and it marks the start of a new lunar cycle. So what the seeds you plant now for yourself, you can incubate until the full moon comes, that will then add more strength by amplifying and shining a light on your clay object. And that's my invitation to you today, is to make this object, look at it every day or put it in your pocket, whatever you feel called to do. It's a physical reminder. It holds the energy of your passion and purpose and your zeal to bring it to manifestation in this time and place, and then put it out in the full moon time. And just give it some more power, give it some environmental cosmic power. So those are some of the influences of the new moon that we're using during this exercise. So take your clay and just get used to it. Start, it's a little stiff, but the heat of your hands will warm it up a little bit. You're gonna get a little softer. And while I drum, I would like you to think of, it might just come to you, but what you're trying to do is symbolize your power of passion and purpose and zeal. Put it into a symbol in 3D. It could be, there's no thing it has to be. It could just be a ball. It could just be a lump. It could be whatever shape it takes. Doesn't matter. We're not going to be sharing them. There's no show and tell. Whatever it feels like to you. Put it all in that while I drum, and then we'll end it together with a little special thing to kind of superpower it. So take a couple of minutes, maybe 3 minutes, to really put your thoughts into the clay, put your emotions about your zeal, purpose, and passion into the clay. Send your heart energy into the clay. And breathe into it. Our breath, it bridges our mind and emotions into the physical. So just breathe out into the clay as often as you want. Pack it all in there. You're energizing the clay. It'll hold the images and feelings, the sensation, the wisdom, the knowingness. It'll hold it for you. Become your partner in manifestation with zeal. Sorry, people at home, I forgot to turn. There, now you can hear me drum, right? As you're finishing up, I want to read a few words from a new book I'm reading. It's brand new. It's inclusive of unity, but what does he really? He's a modern mystic, and you'll recall mystic. So that's really what Charles Fillmore was. Didn't I? Oh, sorry, I thought I did. Okay, good. All right, so as you finish up, these are words from Toni Bohm in her new book, Mastering Abundance. It is said that the thought, feeling / action. So the thought, emotions, is the most potent form of energy known. And if you are familiar with the work of like Joe Dispenza, he's a master at this stuff. You can listen to him on YouTube. For aligning your emotions, it's the most potent form of energy known. It has the capacity to create a world of new realities. Research research is revealing that the quantum field is interconnected and that feelings are its blackboard. I thought this is a really cool image. The feeling blackboard, energetic desires with the quantum field, to which the quantum field responses. So feelings are the blackboard upon which you write your energetic desires, to which the quantum field responds. This would mean that you write or imprint your desires on the conceptual etheric blackboard, not by speaking into them alone. Not by speaking into them alone. In unity, there's a lot of talking and a lot of affirmations, and it's really powerful and important. It especially helps program our brain, but that's only part of the story. The other part of the story is here, our feelings, our emotions. The feeling that is said to have the most potent effect for imprinting the quantum field is the feeling of trust. You notice I didn't say faith. It's a little bit different than trust. Right? But that feeling of trust, that you trust the world is for you. You trust that with this work that you're doing and with these thoughts and these practices that you're doing, then results will come. Like Kate said, it's like you start, you got to keep starting. And then pretty soon you start to say, oh, hey, that's something shifted. Or, oh, I noticed something different. Oh, I woke up feeling better today. Like just those little openings. Or maybe big openings or synchronicities that happen that you start to notice, right? Those are all signs that things are starting to work. And if you can trust, that strongest feeling of trusting that it's going to happen, if not now, then later, it is going to happen, is the strongest and most important feeling when you're trying to bring something into your life, trying to create something new with the power of zeal. So I really, really like that. So she said, the trust that all is happening now for a higher good, whether you see it or not, is the most important thing you can do. So what we're doing here is using our feelings, our emotions, and the meditation, tuning in a little bit, getting some clarity. And then doing a little self-ceremony. I'd like you to hold your clay object up to you in both hands like this. And conjure up the feeling that you had at the end of our meditation when we clapped our hands. And then the count of 3, I want you to blow like a whale, not just a little breath, but like blow like a whale into that object. Right? And we have a coherence thing we've been practicing since June. And if you want to, with the clay, I'm not sure how you're going to do this, but our coherence position is one hand over your heart, right hand over your heart, left hand right below your belly button. And this is a physical practice to align our bioenergy and create brain-heart coherence, create that alignment between our emotions and our thoughts, using our body to create that coherence, that alignment. And just set a new moon intention for yourself. You've got your clay object that you can take home and put somewhere where you'll see it, or put in your car or carry it in your pocket, whatever. Put it out on the full moon to charge it up even more. And keep it as a reminder until it no longer serves a purpose, or until what you put in there actually starts to show up in your life. And then however you're called to dispose of it is absolutely fine. All right, one more inhale. Oh, let's just relax. Open your eyes and come back into the room. Thank you for listening to the power of zeal and for going along and trying out a little self-ceremony and may it prosper you. May it really help you bring forward your power of zeal aligned with your intentions, your desires, and your greater purpose to live here in this earth. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Aho, aho. Thank you. Okay, Dr. Maya, back to you now.